Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back here with part 4 of my plans for this month. I thought I'd make a part 4, and as it's a fourth, I thought, what better time to do so? Although I'm really tired and my back is a bit sore today, and I'm struggling to find this chair, get comfortable in this chair. But anyway, hope you are wherever you are, and I'd love to read any comments you have. Please let me know how you're getting on and or what sort of things you're up to, and anything else you might want to comment in the comment section. So yeah, here goes. So I hope to stick to the theme of both black and stroke or dyslexic empowerment, as I put it, as it's Black History Month and Dyslexia Awareness Month, but also possibly other disadvantaged or often disadvantaged groups like people with other disabilities. So anyway, I hope I don't repeat too many of my ideas, as I often say. I know it's a weakness of mine, but yeah, I welcome any support or any views from my videos and liking of the videos and new subscribers or things like that. I really appreciate it. If you do, if you're a new subscriber or anything like that, or if you do consider subscribing and you're new, please let me know, and maybe I'll return the favor if you want, or I will return the favor if you want me to. But otherwise, I'll just be grateful to have. I'm sure notice I'll have new subscribers. But anyway, I'm going to try and stop waffling, and here goes. So number 31. As I say, please check out parts 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Number 31. I hope to support as many black and stroke or dyslexic, and possibly also physically and mentally disabled people as possible. People with disabilities and from disadvantaged backgrounds, or often disadvantaged backgrounds. In terms of social media or things like that, and especially YouTube, TikTok as well, and support black and stroke or dyslexic people in areas like in fields / areas, whichever term you prefer, in areas like politics, business, banking, tech, STEM generally, and things like that. Number 32. I understand how banks would not, or even investors, for instance, investing in businesses and business people and ventures and things like that, VCs and people like that would not want to invest in people just because they're black and stroke or dyslexic or disabled or whatever. But I hope to look into ways to support and train up, or for other people who are more skilled than me and have more experience than me, to promote the idea, basically, because I myself am not an investor, unfortunately, and I've never run my own business or anything like that. So I'm discussing it from a point of ignorance, if you like. But I hope to promote the idea of companies training up people who are black and stroke or dyslexic, especially in October, as I say, as it's both Black History Month and Dyslexia Awareness Month here in the UK, so that they can get into fields like banking. I know some people will be against the idea of positive discrimination, as some call it, or whatnot, quotas or things like that. So, and I understand that side of the argument as well, like not just giving people jobs just because of their background, but based on merit, and I think that's really important. But I think groups that have historically faced discrimination or general disadvantage, including, I think, with dyslexic people, for instance, I think in the academic system, it's a system that's not geared or designed for people with dyslexia or related disabilities. So I think it's sort of leveling the balance. And if you can train people with dyslexia and stroke or other learning disabilities, and people with other disabilities generally, and stroke or minorities, especially often disadvantaged minorities, such as the black community, perhaps, into those fields, I think it would be beneficial. Maybe there could be tax exemptions for companies who do so, tax cuts for companies who do so. I think that'd be a pretty cool idea as a libertarian. Number 33, again, on that note, as a libertarian, I don't want to force my ideas onto anyone. These are just my own personal ideas, suggestions, views, and things like that. If anyone wants to disagree, that's fine. I say just my own personal opinions. That's what these are. Sorry, I have to zip my teeth. It's probably already got cold, really. But anyway, so yeah, as I say, as a libertarian, I hope to promote libertarian ideals. To be honest, I know it's a bit controversial, but I say, like, I'm a big fan of. I know, again, it's very controversial, but I'm a big fan of the right to privatization, deregulation of industries, and lower taxes and things like that. I know that's probably quite controversial, and people might say Liz Truss, the new UK Prime Minister, already tried that and it didn't work. So that probably shows what that my ideas aren't as good as but ideally, I think it'd be good for people to have as much freedom as possible. And to me, those sorts of things are more free because I think people should have the right to buy things and buy and sell and make decisions and things like that, and have other freedoms as well. And so I think privatization is a right there, or freedom and deregulation, because the less regulation, the less government's involved in your business as well as your life generally, I think the better, in my opinion. Again, I know it's a controversial view. And the less also I think lower taxes, the less taxes you pay, more free you are. So those are my opinions. But again, I think also maybe minorities could be exempt from tax, like the way to reparate black people for like colonialism or slavery or things that arguably could be to have lower taxes. Or I know that would probably favour more affluent black people, but maybe they could be like a leader from the black community who could invest in other black people and train them and mentor them and teach them and train them and get lower taxes to do so, or something like that. And also companies getting tax exemptions for supporting people from the black diaspora and recorded dyslexics. Number 34, as I say, I would love to see funding for members of the black and recorded dyslexic community, as well as possibly for people with physical disabilities, I'll say, and mental disabilities, perhaps even to set up their own businesses and projects and things like that. Number 35, I hope to continue to come up with ideas and work on my plans and anything I might have forgotten, and try and keep working on those ideas as much as I can. I'd say a recent idea I was thinking is to help disabled people, like people with physical and mental disabilities as well as learning disabilities, to become more independent. Maybe like if they had a network which supported each other, as I say, on YouTube especially, or on social media generally, and supported each other to monetize such. I think around the world it would be pretty cool. Number 36, I hope to support especially Black, British and people from Africa, especially as it's Black History Month here in the UK. And it's also, I think one of the reasons why it's in October in the UK is because it's one time when African countries signed peace declarations. So I hope to promote Pan-Africanism as well, and unity and things like that. And remember what list I was on, what number I was on. I think that was 35. 36. Again, I hope to promote Black unity and across the diaspora, and support social media content creators, Black people on TikTok, YouTube, and other forms of social media, perhaps, especially YouTube, as it's the main social media I use, as well as Facebook. But it's also one, as I say, you can monetize. So hopefully a lot of positive things can come from that. Number 37, I also hope to celebrate Black people in sports and other fields. Number 38, I hope to listen to members of the Black community and possibly even dyslexic people about what freedom means to them, or people generally saying what freedom means to them and things like that, especially people from Africa or from the Black diaspora and Black British people and groups like that. Number 39, I hope to do as much writing as possible as well, and write my ideas and find a way to express myself, both in terms of written expression and on YouTube, and hopefully improve my communication as much as I can. And number 40, as ever, I'd love to hear from your ideas and what you think the best ways are of supporting people from disadvantaged backgrounds, such as people with disabilities or whatnot, or from marginalized communities or disadvantaged communities, to become independent and be supported as much as possible, like support their YouTube channels and things like that. What do you think are the best ways to do so? I'd love to encourage networks for YouTubers from the Black diaspora, as well as people with disabilities and other backgrounds. But one of the things I was thinking about is that I also hope to change the perception of people with learning disabilities such as dyslexia, to show what we can do. And also, I can understand some people might say we shouldn't be in the victim mindset, and we shouldn't, and perhaps it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if we see that people from the Black diaspora can't achieve, or that people with dyslexia need support, or whatever, Black people need support, or things like that. Whereas maybe it's ways to help them become empowered, like to set up their own businesses. So that's one of the reasons why I am a bit worried about things like Black Lives Matter and all that kind of thing, because I think it's more important to encourage people to set up their own businesses and become independent and things like that. I got a terrible feeling that I miscounted my list, but yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't plan it very well. I was not feeling too well, but I thought I'd make a video all the same. So I hope you enjoyed it, and as ever, I'd love to hear from you, and I'm out. Peace out.